Donald Trump is continuing to restore dignity in America. Not only did he declare that there are only two genders, he's now moved on to making it to where men cannot participate in women's sports. Now, before we get into this heartbreaking story of this 14-year-old girl who's denied opportunity due to a male participating in her sport, I want y'all to listen to Trump prior to becoming the president and what he planned to do.
We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. Our Second Amendment is under siege.
Yes, sir. I don't know about you, but for me, Donald Trump has been making good on his promises. Now, Jessica added, this may be the most heartwarming 2 minutes of Donald Trump ever. He loves his people.
You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You
Beautiful
ready? We'll do a
picture.
good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature.
Ooh, oh, that sound really does something to my teeth. I don't know what it is. It's almost like when somebody scratched the teacher board, the chalkboard. Yeah.
Because this is, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Woo. Pretty good, huh? I see that. Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all. Nice to see you. Great going, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you, kids. Here, take a pen.
Thank you.
I'll give some of these out, okay? Take a pen, take a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Where's Riley?
Oh, he got to stand up and give it to Riley. That's a president right there. And as Wall Street Mav added, and no children were snipped. That shouldn't be funny. It really shouldn't, man. But, shots at Joe Biden is never tiring. Yeah, but it's something about that sound. Man, it does something to my teeth. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. Anyhow, we're going to move on because I know y'all want to get to the point of this video. Here's Riley Gaines. Y'all remember Riley. Happy National Girls and Women's Sports Day. Forever a proud Wildcat. Looking forward to President Trump signing an executive order declaring men are no longer welcome in women's sports. And she offered us a glamorous body shot. And then right after that, this is her when she reacted to Donald Trump's banning men from women's sports.
What we saw today is in total contrast with the treatment that we as women have received for the past 4 years. Me personally, fighting for this issue the past 3 years. So I'm just overwhelmed, of course, with excitement. I am overwhelmed with gratitude. I have to kind of pinch myself that this is something that is necessary. We have to do, that a president has to take time out of his busy schedule to sign an executive order saying that men cannot compete in women's sports.
Insane.
Think of our founding fathers and what they would think witnessing today's culture. But nonetheless, it is a big win. It is certainly a win worth celebrating, but we are not done. The House has passed this, H.R. 28, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, and now we call on the Senate to bring this bill forward, to have a vote, and hopefully to eventually get onto President Trump's desk to codify the law.
Would younger Riley have ever dreamed of this day when she got out of the pool and realized she tied with a guy?
Younger Riley would have never dreamed of this day for a couple reasons, because younger Riley, I mean, this situation is unfathomable. But even, I mean, just a few years ago, 2 years ago, this is never a position I imagined myself in. I had other plans. I was in dental school to be a dentist, so to say this is a 180 would be an understatement. But of course, I recognize the issue that exists. I understand the urgency of which it needed to be handled, and so to have a president within his first 2-3 weeks in office really make this a priority, issue number 17 on his platform, to get into office and to make to emphatically say, women, girls, you deserve to call yourselves champions. You are worthy of equal opportunities. You are worthy of safety in your sports. You're worthy of privacy in your locker rooms. Again, it's just a total contrast to the previous administration and to the Democratic Party as it stands today.
Amen to that. Wow. I appreciate Riley for being an advocate, that she was someone who was denied an opportunity at the hands of a man. And it's just upsetting that the Democrats actually allowed this to continue and have tried to advocate for women's rights at the same time. The direct contradiction. It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. However, I want to introduce to y'all this 14-year-old track athlete who tells her heartbreaking story about how she lost a major race to a male and then was ruthlessly attacked for standing up to protect female sports. Trump ended that madness today. This is a post from Libs of TikTok. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Hi, I've never spoken to this many people, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited and really happy about this opportunity. My name is Annalie Wilson, and I am 14 years old, and I am a freshman for the Eastmont School District. In May of this year, I ran in the Kashmir Junior Olympics. The Junior Olympics are a regional track meet for junior high athletes who place first or second throughout the track season. So it's a pretty big deal. It is basically the championships for our area. Sorry. I'm sure most of you have heard that at the Junior Olympics, I raced against a transgender athlete in the 1600 meter race. I had heard of this happening around our country, but I never expected to encounter it firsthand. When all of the runners had lined up to race, I noticed that this athlete was built very differently than all of the other girls. But I didn't think much of it because we were on the starting line and we were about to race. It wasn't until we were on the podium that I heard the commotion of upset adults and kids. That is when I heard that the athlete that was standing next to me on the first place podium was a biological boy. My heart sank and I felt extremely discouraged. I felt like all my hard work that I had put in throughout the year didn't matter, and that it was just going to be forgotten. My family and I spoke up about how unfair this was. We didn't speak up about how unfair this was because I didn't get first and didn't win. We spoke up because boys racing against girls at this level of competition isn't right and it isn't fair. All of those biological girls sitting up there next to me had worked just as hard as I had throughout the entire season. But at that moment, our hard work and talent did not matter. A coach on the transgender athletes team had heard my group of friends voicing their concerns and frustration about how unfair this was. They told my group of friends that if they were going to complain, they needed to go somewhere else and do it. Hearing this was devastating to me and my friends.
These people,
it felt like
man.
we were being told
Wow.
to shut up, stop complaining, and just deal with it.
Wow.
And this is why I'm speaking up. Our female athlete voices need to be heard because we are the ones that this is personally affecting. Going through this experience has been incredibly hard. Adults have attacked my family, and me for speaking up for fairness and protection of biological girls in sports. My family and I have been told by adults that we are transphobic, that I am a sore loser, and that I value winning more than a human life. We have also been told that it will be our fault and that we will be the ones responsible if this transgender athlete takes their life. And then I was told that I am simply just not good enough, and that's why I placed second.
Y'all, just look. Look at that dude. I wish people had intellectual honesty these days. I really feel like people just love to be dishonest with themselves, just to lack empathy purposely, just to attack people. Like it's frivolous, it's vicious.
But I feel like the same people who are attacking female athletes for speaking up do not care about the mental tolls and struggles this is also taking on female athletes. These words have affected me, and it has hurt tremendously to hear all of these things because me and my family are some of the kindest people who strive to love everyone and do what is right. I have had severe anxiety and panic attacks as I have been trying to prove to those who say I am not good enough by training even harder. What hurts the most is that no matter how hard I train or how hard I push myself, the likelihood of beating a boy is slim. I have learned so much going through this experience. My biggest takeaway is that allowing boys to compete in girls' sports isn't working, and it is not fair. It isn't fair, and it isn't working for biological girls, and it isn't fair, and it isn't working for transgender athletes. Thank you. No matter where you stand, failing to protect women's sports is wrong.
Amen.
So much hate and conflict has come from both sides. The things I have heard about this transgender athlete and me are awful and damaging. I am only 14 and I shouldn't have to deal with these kinds of adult issues. But here I am.
That was a very profound statement. These are adults who allowed this to happen.
Thank you. But here I am, speaking up, hoping that adults will step up and do what is right to protect and keep women's sports fair and safe for biological girls. I hope we can find a solution for all athletes to compete fairly and safely, because at 14 years old, even I can see that the current rules aren't working for biological girls or transgender athletes. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredible story. And I can't wait to, I'm sure this young woman is going to become somebody incredible. I can't wait until, a couple years from now where there's a headline of her winning or participating in something, and I mean absolutely crushing it. I definitely can feel it in my spirit. A little emotional, very emotional right now. Just, I'm a father myself. And knowing that these Democrats really try to deprive these children, deprive women, first of all, and deprive children and women on top of all of that. And sit there and say that you're somebody who advocates for women's rights while taking away their right to do something and then demeaning them for it is 14. As Gunther added, this nonsense ends today. Whew. Now we got Aquarius Wave right here, man. This is my guy right here about to drop some jewels, drop some facts on us. These liberals want men in women's sports.
Let me get this straight. The Democratic
Did y'all catch on to what he said? He said,
Let me get this straight. The Democratic Party claims to be the party for women's rights, right?
Right.
They have always seen themselves as having the moral high ground when it came to women's issues. As a matter of fact, in the last election cycle, they actually had a candidate who ran almost exclusively on quote unquote women's reproductive rights. So it would probably surprise you to think that 206 members of the House voted against a bill that would protect young women in sports. Okay, so 206 Democrats in the House, which is basically all of them except for two, voted against women's rights to protect them, essentially.
go look up how the Republican Party was started. This isn't new to me now that I know that Democrats historically did not want to protect human rights, let alone women's rights.
Within their sport. To not have the boys up in their locker room, not have the boys competing with them, creating a dangerous environment in their sport itself, or at the very best is you get a trophy, a medal, a scholarship snatched from you that you worked your entire life for. You know, just basic little things like that. Yeah, so it took the Republicans with a full sweep to vote for this bill, and it's the only reason why the bill passed. It's interesting. Kind of reminds me of that one time when the Democrats also voted against the Civil Rights Act and filibustered that bill for, 75 days? Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that one.
I said human rights. Right when he got finished, I was going to go on to, I meant to say that they take it away. Human rights, civil rights, women's rights, all rights. And y'all talk about trying to stand up for what's right. Hey, I tried to make it all connect there, y'all. I want y'all to see this clip from Wesley Hunt. And he posted, "Today marks a pivotal moment in our nation as President Trump fulfills his promise to protect women's sports and restore fairness and competition." He had a very powerful speech. And when they had the hearing on gender affirming care.
My daughters are going to watch this. And I can assure you that my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old daughters will not change in front of biological men. This is ridiculous. I don't care what party you are a part of. If you think that we are all equal and the same, biologically, you've lost your mind. And when my 2 daughters work hard in the sport, work hard in their craft to be the best that they can be amongst other women, they will compete against other women. I owe Victoria and Olivia and every other young lady in this country that. I want to thank my parents, Willie and Diane Hunt. They had 3 children. All 3 of us went to West Point. All 3 of us served our country. All 3 of us earned multiple master's degrees from Ivy League schools. Do you know why? Because my parents did not give in to the thoughts of an adolescent Wesley Hunt. I am a United States congressman because my parents didn't listen to me when I was 8 years old. They raised us. They cared for us.
Yes. They didn't care. They didn't, cater to the delusion. Okay? We're kids. We have imaginations. We think we feel this way, we feel that way, but our understanding of the world is narrow. We haven't experienced much. So it's okay to, he feels like this, feel like that, but hey, you're not that. It's okay to have them centered and rooted in reality. You do them a disservice by adding on to the delusion. I wanted to conclude today's video with Donald Trump concluding the situation. And I'll read what Charlie Kirk added. President Trump, during an executive order signing ceremony banning men and women's sports. I'm trying to get his last word on this thing.
So in recent years, the radical left has waged an all-out campaign to erase the very concept of biological sex and replace it with a militant transgender ideology. You've heard a little bit about this, haven't you? Huh? Just a little bit? Does anybody agree with them? No. Would be not a good thing to say yes right here. Female athletes have been forced onto the front lines, and men claiming to be girls have stolen more than 3,500 victories. That's a lot. And invaded more than 11,000 competitions designed for women. Last year, a male cyclist posing as a woman competed in the 800-mile Arizona Trail Race, a very big deal in cycling, and obliterated the women's course record by nearly 5.5 hours.
Wow.
Sounds like a lot, doesn't it, huh?
Yes.
5.5 hours. So, but you have to hear the weightlifting records. You think that's bad? The weightlifting's worse. In 2023, a man in women's powerlifting broke 2 world records and outlifted his closest female opponent in one event by 440 pounds.
Wow. Wow.
And they continue to defend themselves, Mr. Congressman. You know that, right? They continue to defend themselves. We hope they continue onward because I don't think we can lose a race. This was one of the big reasons that we all won, and it's one of the big reasons that we had a record, a landslide like we haven't seen before, very often anyway. And who could forget last year's Paris Olympics where a male boxer stole the women's gold medal after brutalizing his female opponent
oh
so
my God, that
viciously
Khalif,
that she had to
like
forfeit just after 46 seconds, and she was a championship fighter. And actually, they had 2 women or 2 people that transitioned, and both of them won gold medals, and they won them very convincingly. But all of that ends today because with this executive order, the war on women's sports is over.
It is over. Donald Trump is back, everybody. We have our president back. This is exactly who and what we voted for. So proud of the young woman being able to be as strong as she was to be able to give her, I can't even call it a testimony right now, give her story, heartbreaking story that definitely had me choked up. But Donald Trump taking the initiative, gotta be super grateful for that. Make sure y'all follow me on these platforms. Oh wait, I'm on this side. Follow me on these platforms right here. Also join us on patreon.com/kingdomcrew. I will be rolling out memberships very soon. In addition to that, thank you to each and every last one of you for the donations on these videos. Y'all know we do risk a lot by telling the truth here. So hopefully with Donald Trump in office, we ain't gotta worry about that. But anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna say anywho, thank you guys for that. In addition to that, man, all the likes, the shares, and the sentiments, you guys have been truly amazing. I'm gonna catch y'all in the very next video though. I'm working up with Epstein right now with these Epstein files.